In every century, history gives birth to a few souls who are not meant to live ordinary lives. They are born to awaken nations. They are born to challenge empires. They are born to become immortal. This is not just a story of a queen. This is the story of courage without fear. This is the story of a woman who chose freedom over life. This is the story of Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi. In the sacred city of Varanasi, in the year 1828, a baby girl was born. Her name was Manikarnika Tambe. No drums were beaten, no prophecy was announced, but destiny was already writing her name in fire. Manikarnika lost her mother at a very young age. Life taught her pain early, but it also gave her strength early. She grew up under the care of her father, who believed that girls were not weak. While society taught girls to bow, Manikarnika learned to stand straight. While others learned silence, she learned swordmanship, horse riding, archery, fencing, wrestling. She fell, she bled, she stood again. She was fearless. At the Peshwa's court in Pune, she was called Manu. The boys feared her, the teachers admired her, and destiny watched silently. Manikarnika was married to Maharaja Gangadhar Rao, the king of Jhansi. Marriage changed her name, but not her spirit. She became Rani Lakshmibai. As queen, she was wise. As ruler, she was just. As a human, she was compassionate. Jhansi flourished. Its people felt protected. But fate was not done testing her. Her husband fell ill. Soon after, he passed away. The palace went silent. The queen was young. The kingdom was vulnerable. And the British were watching. The British East India Company announced the doctrine of lapse. They claimed Jhansi has no heir. Jhansi belongs to the British. Rani Lakshmibai adopted a son, Damodar Rao, as her rightful heir. But the British refused. They underestimated her. They thought she would cry. They thought she would surrender. But she stood tall and she spoke words that shook the empire. मैं अपनी झांसी नहीं दूंगी. These words were not anger. They were a promise. From that day, Rani Lakshmibai was no longer just a queen. She became a revolution. In 1857, India awakened. Soldiers rebelled. Kings united. People rose. Rani Lakshmibai did not hide behind palace walls. She trained women. She built an army. She sharpened swords. She wore armor. She mounted her horse. Her child was tied to her back, a mother, a warrior, a leader, all in one. The British were stunned. Never had they seen a woman fight like fire. British forces attacked Jhansi. Cannons roared. Walls shook. Blood soaked the earth. Rani Lakshmibai fought at the front. She did not command from safety. She led from danger. Her sword moved like lightning. Her courage inspired thousands. Even when defeat was certain, she did not surrender. At night, with her son on her back, she escaped on horseback, jumping over the fort wall, a leap that became legend. In Gwalior, the final battle awaited. Rani Lakshmibai was wounded, outnumbered, exhausted, yet unbroken. She fought till her last breath. She chose death over slavery. Her final wish was simple: do not let the British capture my body. She fell, but she rose forever. The British officer later said she was the most dangerous rebel of all. But to India, she was something else. She was Shakti. She was Virata. She was freedom itself. She proved courage has no gender. Leadership has no limits. Freedom is worth everything. Close your eyes. Imagine her on her horse, sword raised, fearless. Ask yourself, if she could fight an empire, what fear can stop you? Her life whispers to us, even today, stand for what is right, fight for your self respect, never surrender your freedom. Rani Lakshmibai did not die. She became India's eternal courage. The religious and spiritual side of Rani Lakshmibai. Rani Lakshmibai was not only a warrior of the battlefield, she was also a warrior of faith. Her strength did not come only from swords and armies. It came from something deeper, something invisible, something eternal. It came from bhakti, dharma. Rani Lakshmibai was born in Varanasi, the city of Lord Shiva. From childhood, she grew up listening to temple bells at dawn, Vedic chants in the air, stories of gods, goddesses, and dharma. This sacred environment shaped her inner world. She learnt very early: life is temporary, dharma is permanent. Rani Lakshmibai was a devotee of Shakti, the divine feminine power. She deeply believed in goddess Durga and Bhavani, the goddesses of courage, protection, and righteousness. Before battles, she prayed. Before decisions, she bowed her head. Before picking up the sword, she sought blessings. But her devotion was not fear based, it was fearless devotion. She believed God does not make us weak, God makes us ready. Even as a queen, Rani Lakshmibai followed simple religious discipline: early morning prayers, lighting the lamp, chanting mantras, visiting temples in Jhansi. She believed rulers must first rule themselves. Faith gave her clarity in confusion, calm in chaos, courage in crisis. For Rani Lakshmibai, religion was not ritual alone, it was dharma, moral duty. She believed protecting her people was her dharma, defending Jhansi was her dharma, resisting injustice was her dharma. That is why she could say without hesitation, I will give my life, but I will not give up my dharma. Her war was not for power, it was for righteousness. In her final moments, wounded and surrounded, she did not cry for mercy. She accepted death calmly, like a true spiritual warrior. She believed the soul is eternal. She believed removed fear. Her last wish, that the British should not capture her body, came from spiritual dignity, not hatred. Rani Lakshmibai was a Kshatriya in action, a Bhakta in heart, a Yogini in spirit. She proved that spirituality does not mean weakness, devotion does not mean surrender, Faith can create fearless warriors. Her life teaches us pray like a devotee, act like a warrior, live like a protector of Dharma. Rani Lakshmibai did not separate religion and courage. She lived them together. She was not only Jhansi ki Rani, she was Bhavani ki beti. The 1857 war in Jhansi, when a queen became a revolution. The year was 1857. India was silent on the outside but burning on the inside. For nearly 100 years, the British East India Company had ruled Indian lands through fear, deception, and broken promises. And then the fire erupted. When the revolt of 1857 began in Meerut, its flames traveled fast. From city to city, from heart to heart, Jhansi was watching. Rani Lakshmibai knew one truth very clearly. If we do not stand now, we will never stand again. Jhansi was already under British threat because of the doctrine of lapse. The British had declared Jhansi no longer belonged to its people. But the Rani had not accepted this, not in her heart, not in her soul. In June 1857, Indian soldiers in Jhansi rebelled against the British officers. British control weakened. Fear shifted sides. For the first time, the British felt unsafe in Jhansi. Rani Lakshmibai took charge. She did not act in anger. She acted with responsibility. She focused on protecting civilians, maintaining order, preparing for the inevitable British attack. Jhansi was no longer just a kingdom, it had become a fortress of resistance. Rani Lakshmibai knew the British would return with cannons, with trained armies, with revenge. So she prepared. Fort walls were strengthened, weapons were collected, soldiers were trained, women were trained. Yes, women. She formed a women's defense force, teaching them sword fighting, archery, and courage. She said, every hand that can protect Jhansi is a warrior's hand. In March 1858, British General Sir Hugh Groves marched towards Jhansi with a powerful army. Cannon surrounded the fort. The British believed Jhansi would fall quickly. They were wrong. The battle began. For days and nights, cannons roared, walls cracked, smoke filled the sky. Inside the fort, food was limited, ammunition was running out, fear tried to enter hearts. But Rani Lakshmibai stood firm. She rode across the fort, speaking to soldiers, motivating the wounded, encouraging the tired. She did not hide, she fought, sword in hand, armor on her body, fire in her eyes. Even British officers later admitted she fought like a man among the men. Despite fierce resistance, the British army slowly broke through. Some local leaders betrayed Jhansi. The fort walls were damaged. Defeat was approaching. But surrender never. Rani Lakshmibai made a bold decision. One dark night, with her infant son tied to her back, Rani Lakshmibai mounted her horse. She rode towards the fort wall. Below enemy forces, ahead uncertainty, and yet she jumped. Horse and rider leaped from the fort. That leap became immortal. She escaped Jhansi not as a defeated queen but as a living symbol of resistance. Jhansi fell, but the revolution did not. Rani Lakshmibai joined forces with Tatya Tope and other leaders. She continued fighting until her final battle at Gwalior. Jhansi was lost, but its courage was planted forever in India's soil. The 1857 war in Jhansi taught India something powerful. A woman can lead armies, a queen can challenge empires. Freedom begins with refusal. Refusal to bow, refusal to obey injustice, refusal to forget self respect. Jhansi fell, but Jhansi did not surrender. Its queen fell, but her courage rose. And even today, when India speaks of freedom, one name echoes louder than cannons. Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi. Titles of Rani Lakshmibai and who gave them. Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi, given by royal title after marriage. Who gave it? Maharaja Gangadhar Rao, King of Jhansi. This was her official royal title after marriage. Lakshmibai symbolized prosperity, dignity, and strength, inspired by goddess Lakshmi. This name is how history remembers her. Second, Jhansi Ki Rani, the Queen of Jhansi, given by the people of India. Type, popular and emotional title. This title was not written in any royal document. It was given by the people out of love and respect. She earned it through sacrifice, courage, leadership, protection of her people. To Indians, she was not just a ruler, she was their Rani. Third, the Rani of the 1857 revolt, given by Indian freedom fighters and historians. Type, historical title. Because she became one of the central leaders of the 1857 uprising. This title recognizes her role as a revolutionary leader, not just a regional queen. Fourth, the Lioness of Jhansi, given by British officers and later historians. Type, honor given by enemies. British officers were shocked by her bravery. They described her as fearless, aggressive, and unstoppable. The word lioness symbolized courage, leadership, battlefield dominance. It is rare in history that an enemy gives such a powerful title. Fifth, the most dangerous rebel, given by British General Sir Hugh Grose, recorded in British accounts. This title was given because she inspired mass resistance, she refused surrender, she escaped Jhansi dramatically, she continued fighting even after losing her kingdom. To the British Empire, she was not just a rebel, she was a threat. Sixth, Virangana, heroic women warrior, given by Indian poets, writers, and cultural tradition. Virangana means a woman who fights with bravery equal to the greatest warriors. She became the symbol of women's courage in Indian culture. 7. Daughter of Bhavani, Bhavani Ki Beti, given by devotees and folk tradition. Type, spiritual or cultural title. Because of her devotion to goddess Durga or Bhavani and her fearless nature, people believed she carried divine feminine power, Shakti. This title connects her courage with spirituality. 8. Symbol of Indian women's power, given by modern India. Type, national and symbolic title. Today, she represents women's strength, resistance against injustice, fearless leadership. She is taught in schools, poems, songs, and speeches as a national icon. She was crowned by a king, but she was named by history. The British called her dangerous. India called her Mother of Courage. And time itself crowned her Jhansi Ki Rani. The title Indian Joan of Arc was given to Rani Lakshmibai by the British, not by Indians. British historians and British writers, British officers who wrote about the 1857 revolt. They compared Rani Lakshmibai to Joan of Arc of France because both were young women, both led armies in war, both fought foreign rule, both died fighting for their country. This comparison appears in British historical writings after 1858.